Not literally a million times, but he looks very, very comfortable here.
He's never been on this stage, Valdez. You're lying.
Oh, that's true. We're in the new studio.
So we'll be a Ringo ban, a long-time Iraqi Zoro pick, but this is going to potentially leave up a rhyme, which has been a staple of GankStars recently. Adagio banned out, and it will be Sky first up for Raid.
Yeah, very quick picks here. It seems like these guys are going for more, targeted bans here. Adagio still very strong, as is Ringo, just like a pretty solid choice, but I feel like there are better choices out there nowadays. I like the Sky insta-lock here. Not sure if that is going to be played by Almost Carry or their jungle player.
And there will be the Fortress. Pretty standard go-to pick here for GankStars. They put an emphasis on that. 4 of the 5 games they played in their last best of 5 going up against Hammers Kinetic. They picked that, and the Vox will come in. We saw the Vox stats there for Iraqi Zoro. Certainly one of his best hero pickups these days. There will be Krull and Arden, so we'll see. There has been some lane Sky. There's been some lane Krull. It's not exactly showing us what that laner is going to be. I assume it's going to be Almost Carry on the Sky and Crystal Assassin on the Krull, but we'll have to wait it out. And Fuji, he's been playing a lot of Glaive recently. Definitely cut from the same cloth, and they're going to lock it in. So no Rhyme pick. Bit of a surprise.
Yeah, this really just plays into these two teams' personalities and the way they like to play. Just what we were saying, very defensive late-game comp from Raid, whereas a more aggressive kind of all-in composition from GankStars. I'm liking the way this is shaping up.
And we'll see how it is going to work here and whether we can see, it looks like Suri going to be on that Krull, so actually switching it up just a little bit, but Suri has been known to play both jungle and roam, so it kind of depends, I think, on the hero. So where they're going with it, however, they are going to actually switch over. The graphic was wrong. He is playing Arden, so a little bit of a mistake right there. Sorry, guys. We are going to get into game 1.
Yeah.
It will be Raid from Korea looking to go up against GankStars. Of course, coming in from North America with 2/3 of their new roster.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to get back into the thick of things here in Vainglory. It's been quite a while, as we were saying before. You cast it in Japan, but for me, it's been, I feel like a year or so. I think I did a little bit of the VGL over in North America in between in the interim. But let's see how this game is going to go down here. You see Almost Carry already rotating down here. Maybe want to take an early fight.
Looks like they are going to dive into the Tri-Brush really quickly. Just a little bit of damage. Flares going down on both sides to get that information. There's the forward barrage. It's going to do a little bit of tickling here on the members of GankStars, so nothing really gained. And talk about these team compositions just a little bit. One of the problems with Krull is that you have to be very sticky, right? You got to get that Shiver Steal in, but at least with the Sky and the Arden ults can really set it up so that you can get those stacks down for the Smite. Almost Carry doing a number on Iraqi Zoro right there. Great control with that forward barrage.
Yeah, I mean, Iraqi Zoro known himself as one of the best laners we have, but Almost Carry himself looking to get a kill here on Iraqi Zoro. Continuous pressure very early on in this lane.
Yeah, it has to be said, too. That was going through. He already picked up his light armor, so defensive start. And it's still doing quite a bit of damage to him. So playing with fire a little bit, but he's got some healing potions left over, playing pretty far back towards his turret. And he's got some backup there. The rest of the members of GankStar just holding out.
Yeah, you can see the rest of the GankStars members kind of having to rotate up here to support Iraqi Zoro. Bit of skirmishing already going on. It looks like GankStars not really getting the better end of that trade.
So let's see here what GankStars can do. They do have a very strong pick composition with the Glaive and the Fortress. Getting that speed boost from the Fortress and isolating a target with the Glaive can be highly effective. You can catch somebody out, but they haven't found an appropriate target yet. But Suri buying some of the back camps right now, taking what he can, and good little invade coming down so far as they're able to split the camps pretty effectively. And this could be a nice steal. Flare's going to catch him out, and Fuji's got the angle. He's going to down him with some auto attacks, and there we go. First blood goes over to Fuji and the rest of GankStars.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, Krull was farming the entirety of his own jungle while Suri was getting a little bit of distraction done while getting those extra creeps. So, as you can see, the gold very even, very slightly in favor of Raid here.
Yeah, this is a scary place to be, though, because GankStars, if you're just all by yourself, be bad in any situation, but the ability for Fortress and Glaive to close that gap and run you down is pretty significant. But you see Suri coming back up in time, and that was really close. He was nearly taking that back camp and then just able to recall, but a few seconds too late. Nice use of a flare, pincer maneuver, and GankStars pick up the kill.
Yeah, we can see Raid now pushing the lane here. No real read on what kind of items these guys want to head towards just yet. A lot of defensive items picked up by the jungle and roam positions for Raid, but Fuji grabbing a couple of weapon blades there, trying to get some early weapon power down, maybe wanting to be a bit aggressive in this game, as we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm curious where Almost Carry's going to go with this, because he did start with the weapon blade on the sky, which actually does make it significantly easier to last hit in the lane. You can always just sell it off later if you need to, but does give your autos, of course, that little bit of extra harassment potential and start to grow a little bit of a CS lead, and that's exactly what he's done. He's found himself about 10 farm up on Araki Zoro so far. No big disparity in the jungle yet.
Yeah. Heavy steel picked up here by Fuji. May want to go towards that Sorrow Blade for a lot of early weapon power in this game. You can see GankStars rotating up here. They may want to go for a pick on one of these members.
Not going to work for it, Barrage. It's going to deter them a little bit. Wrecked here on the side. But Suri get jumped on right there. There's the knockback, though. Suri getting low. He will escape. Jumping over to Almost Carry with that Vanguard. He is going to make it out, just a little bit of damage. Rocky going to dodge that forward barrage with the Sonic Zoom. Still taking a lot of damage, though, on that reset.
I love the way Almost Carry is playing the sky. It's just really pristine. I mean, the positioning, we have heard so much about this guy and his positioning, but it's so there. And look at that, they pick up a kill. Arden Suri coming in and finishing that one off, or helping at least. But Almost Carry doing 90% of that damage, and that's all about the positioning, the forward barrages that are perfectly on point every single time.
He's keeping the lane pushed up, too, even though he's using a lot of his abilities just for harassment here on Araki Zoro, and that's going to set this Vox even further behind. Araki Zoro goes back. Heavy steel now in his pocket. And he's going to be scaling nicely into the late game, but he's got to get there first. We are even when it comes to gold, however, so these kills not doing a whole hell of a lot just yet.
Yeah, you see Krull picking up that Shiver Steel. May want to attempt some more ganks here, some more aggression as he does pick up that item. He doesn't have all too many other items in terms of getting his offense down, but can be sticky, as you were saying before. Looks like Raid continuing to push here, even the Death from Above going to be used, whereas GankStars going for the gold mine.
Yeah, and actually Suri showing in the mid lane right there, a bit of a mistake. It's actually allowed this gold mine just to go down for free over to GankStars Sirius. Lose some farm there on the turret, take a little bit more damage, but with the roamer showing in the lane right, that made an easy decision just for 3 people to go straight onto that gold mine and pick up some decent gold. We do end up even, however.
Araki Zoro clearing out that lane. It looks like Glaive was down there buying. The 6 Sins may want to group up. We're seeing the ending part of a replay there as Suri does,
great replay.
help out the pick out the kill.
Fantastic. Fantastic replay right there.
You guys can see that someone died. That's it. That's about it.
And then there was one turret shot in slow motion onto Suri. Nice.
So, Frostburn going to be picked up here by Almost Carry. Very common first item for Skye. It always has been since she came out. It allows you to get those 4 barrages down, but here we go.
Yeah, Wreck going to take a little bit of damage right in the front. Fuji going to get stunned. Wow, what a great ult from Suri right there. Nails 2 on the perimeter, and that's going to be GankStars having some issues. Fuji going to jet out right now. Almost Carry on the backside. It's a duel, but Araki Zoro somehow picks up 1. Almost Carry there playing aggressively, but We do see Rocky Zoro able to close that gap, but he's not going to let the turret fall either. So everything just coming out just about even. There's the Dead Man's Rush coming in once again. Can they get him under the turret? Dive!
Ooh.
The smite just falling short, not able to pick up that execute. And Rocky Zoro narrowly avoids another death.
Just barely. Rocky Zoro, I feel like he's been on the edge of death this entire game. Able to isolate, almost carrying that fight, but it did go 2-1 in favor of Raid. You pointed it out during the fight, but the Gauntlet basically won them that fight. he placed it. You know, it's so hard to do that, right? To jump to the location where the edge of the Gauntlet is going to hit the members, and he hit 2. Let's see the replay.
It was a good setup, and actually right there started with a little bit of a mistake with the sword going the opposite direction, but did get the stun down anyway from Suri, so bit of a mechanical misplay there coming in from Crystal Assassin. Almost carry here low enough, and Araki just able to finish that kill and get out back towards his base. Fortunately for him, saving that turret, but not for much longer. There's the Fortress ultimate. Dogs are out, and they're going to come forward. Nice ult there, stunning people up from the sky, and they're still pursuing, though. Not going to go underneath this turret. They do grab a couple of kills, though. The help of that pursuit there, the speed boost coming in from the Fortress. Rocky Zoro finishing things off with his ultimate.
Yeah, just possibly a bit of an overcommittal to get that turret. They are going to lose their entire jungle now, as both Fuji and Rekt do rotate down there and steal as much as they possibly can. You see Rocky Zoro not doing so well in the trades with Sky so far, but I feel like they're, you know, outside of that turret, they're doing decently well in terms of objectives. They're staying in this game, but based on their composition, I think they need to be a bit more aggressive in this early game. They don't want to allow both Sky and Krull to farm up to that like really powerful late game.
Yeah, although the Vox there should be, you know, balancing it out just a little bit. And that's the thing about Raid, though, is that they're really ultimate dependent in order for Crystal Assassin to be able to close that gap without getting kited. I think that's going to be the major concern here. Also, the afterburn knockback still present to kind of get him out and stop him from stacking up. Can provide some peel in some of these fights, so they do have to be on the careful side. Everybody hide.
You were spotted watching an esport. Deal with it.
We're spotted watching esports all the time, Valdez, and we're not ashamed. We're proud to be here.
Yeah, we chose to do this, in fact.
To be fair, that guy chose to be here, too.
Yeah, that is true. We got a Warhorn picked up by the Fortress. That's going to make engaging here really, really nice for GankStars. They have double Sorrow Blade on both Vox and Glaive. I think they have hit a really nice power spike right now. They're grouping up, and they want to take a fight for sure.
Yeah, problem is, though, with Vox not building any crystal power, they are going to have one type of damage. Does make it easier for Raid to itemize here. Coming in. Of course, same can be said for GankStars also. Lots of crystal damage on the side of Raid. And with Krull building tank right now, that smite can be itemized against with just a little bit of shield. Reflex blocks coming in too to try and help deal with the multiple sources of stuns. Everybody on Raid has some sort of stun right now, and if they can stop those from going off, they might be able to kite it out and just allow Vox the freedom to do a lot of the damage.
GankStars once again grouping up here. Suri caught them last time with the flare, attempts to do so again, but GankStars wants to engage.
Got an angle, there's the knockback onto Crystal Assassin, but Fuji actually going to get stunned up right there and killed as they focus him down. The rest of GankStars not quite able to follow up in time. Does burn all three ultimates actually from Raid, and looks like they're not going to be able to get a whole lot more besides that kill. See how much they want to commit to this turret.
They should be able to burn it down pretty quickly. In fact, almost carry going deep here.
Might be dangerous. Almost carry nearly dies. Rocky Zoro has to pop. That reflex ball gets the shield. Now they're coming on back, though. Suri getting low. And here comes Fuji. They're going to go on this right now. He's going to dodge the Sky ultimate with the afterburn, but they just can't quite close that gap yet. They want Suri. Can they take him down? A couple more hits is all they need. Gotta go deep. Gotta pick him up. Gotta pick up 2, actually. There's Fuji grabbing yet another kill, and they're not done. They're diving for Crystal Assassin right now. Too low, and they still escape. Fuji just going to tank the turret.
That was pretty unbelievable, the way they juggled the aggro from the turret. Both Fuji and Araki Zoro were so low, and they both did not go down. Rekt able to, or perhaps it was Rekt who was also very low, as he did die first, but Fuji was able to pick up the kill here.
That dodge on the death from above kept that pursuit going on. Otherwise, that stun would have stopped them cold.
Yeah, let's see. They try to get in onto the Arden, who is so tanky right now. But a double afterburn kill by Fuji. And yeah, it was both Rekt and Araki Zoro, in fact, who were very low. But Fuji is able to pick up 3 kills.
That's the problem with Krull, though. You don't have that Shiver Steel up. You don't have any CC there to set you up. And basically, they can just kite him forever. Even underneath a turret like that, he never had a chance to get damage in and finish off any of those low members.
Yeah, for sure. And you could see GankStars pushing out to a very big lead at this point, getting the turret and the gold mine. 26.6 to 24.5k gold. And they're finally beginning to, get some of that aggression on that we were talking about.
Yeah, mirror builds here for Fuji and Araki Zoro coming through as well. So looking like they are going to be hitting those same timings now that the Bone Saw is back up. And when we talk about that, when both carries are able to shred the target armor right there, they can actually set up for each other to do more damage, make sure they can maximize those stacks as fast as possible and tear through the enemy's defenses. But armor stacking still continuing here. Crystal Assassin now with the Atlas Baldron complete.
And Raid continuing their push onto this turret. Let's see what kind of defense GankStars can put up here. Look at how much damage keeps coming out from the forward barrage. Almost Carry just really impressed by his play today specifically. I had heard a lot about him, but the Frostburn with that forward barrage, he lands it every single time, and does a nice job sieging these turrets. Now they can, they push back the members of GankStars, form up the entire jungle of GankStars, and they can just back off from here.
See if they can. Here we go, actually. They're going to go in, so GankStars pulls the trigger. Warhorn is popped, and there's the ultimate. Silence comes through, but there's the Arden ult trying to stop him up, but they're still on the pursuit. One down already. Araki Zoro trying to follow up with the damage. Fuji getting low, but there's Suri. Can he actually escape? No, he can't. Almost carry the last one left. He has no energy, though, and there's the finisher, Araki Zoro. What a confident engage, and another ace for GankStars.
Oh boy, that was Araki Zoro shouting the booth, go, go, go. We see them, they're in our jungle, right? They picked up that Warhorn for a reason, and even though it looked like a really fantastic disengage from Raid, I feel like the engage from GankStars was a lot better. Look at this.
Yeah, everybody just getting stunned up right there, but they actually layer their CC just a little bit too much. As they start coming in, not saving it to be able to kite out, and you can't underestimate. We talked about this composition, how fast it can get on top of you with the Fortress and the Glaive together, and so they pull the trigger, they isolate somebody, take him down immediately, just dealing with Crystal Assassin. And then Suri and Almost Carry just left there to die, and now GankStars at the neutral shop, looking at this Kraken, Flare in the brush. GankStars play around with this, and there's another ultimate coming through, and they're going to knock him back immediately. Almost Carry dodging through the fight. Araki Zoro on the duty, takes him out, and that's in the back line. They isolated him once again. Crystal Assassin has no chance, and now Suri, everybody sped up and chasing him. Afterburn coming through. Suri trying to get away, but Araki Zoro there to cut off his escape. Just buying time right now. Not a whole lot he can do. Another ace to GankStars.
Just another fantastic engage. I mean, they're so far ahead at this point that it looked like Raid wanted to force the fight, but I have to say that positioning we were seeing a little bit early on is not really showing itself in these team fights.
Well, GankStars, the forward barrage came through, and instead of just sitting there and taking the poke damage, they just all in. They see that damage coming down, and they just dive into the enemy lines immediately. Very decisive on the engage. And there's the Kraken, taking 4 GankStars after their, third consecutive ace now, as they've really bounced back in this game, taking advantage of the double Bonesaw power spike to just slice through Raid.
Yeah, let's see what kind of defense Raid can put up here. It looks like GankStar's going to engage again.
Fuji just has no fear right now. They're trying to keep that Kraken up with as much HP as possible as it lumbers down the lane. Flare goes out. They are going to find the members. GankStars serious right there in the bush. Raid on their back foot right now. How fast can they take this Kraken out? The rest of GankStars are there. They're sieging down this turret, and they're not going to do too much damage. About a third HP on that Kraken. GankStars looking to deal the death blow with this push. Bristol Assassin taking a lot of poke there from Iraqi Zoro. Suri nearly dead too. They're focusing on the turrets. Fuji and Wrecked going for the objectives. Kraken's nearly dead, but it may not be enough. There we go. Afterburn gonna knock Suri right into that back line. Kraken nearly dead right now, but they're on the crystal. How much are they going to commit to this? Iraqi Zoro dodging around the backside. There's the leap over from Wrecked. The crystal is going down, and there's just not enough. It will be GankStars bouncing back from an early deficit to take their first win in Group A.